They have a variety of flavors, textures. Some button mushrooms, some shiitake mushrooms, sweet and nutty, oyster mushrooms, portobello mushrooms. Mushrooms. Today we're making the French fry mushroom salad. And here we go. We get our pan hot. First part of working the French fry mushroom salad is working with a hot pan. We are looking to caramelize the mushrooms. This is done at 350 Fahrenheit and higher. This is a mixture of portobello, shiitake, button mushrooms, and oyster mushrooms. Button mushrooms have a high moisture content, a little spongy. If you sear them just right, they are a little like these little explosions, juicy explosions, which are amazing. This is one of the most crucial steps in the recipe. It is making sure we don't overcrowd the pan. If we overcrowd the pan or cut the mushrooms too small, they'll stew and not sear or caramelize. Oyster mushrooms have more of a similar texture to the shiitake, both of them a little drier, a little chewier. The goal is to get a nice deep red brown. If you go to golden brown, you won't really get the umami intensity. Black, well, we know we burnt it. Now you can see the smoke starting to happen. That's my first indicator that the caramelization process has begun. A lot of these mushrooms are getting there. The butter's starting to get absorbed into the mushrooms. One thing they are is very porous. And the idea is I'm trying to keep these mushrooms really juicy, caramelized on the outside, squishy juicy in the center, so they explode with the sauce and that umami richness that they provide. So here we go, we're ready to give it a little toss, and you'll start seeing that the browning has begun. At this point, I'm gonna add my shallots and garlic. So now we can see that the mushrooms have fully caramelized. The shallots are just starting to turn. You can't smell this, but we certainly can. It's smelling delicious. Endless forms of cookery. Purees, reductions, dehydrated, wild mushroom omelet, duxelle, vegetarian lasagna, deep fried battered tempura. That was it. I'm basically going to shock this process. I'm going to stop it. We do this right when we see the shallots. If there's enough, you see the shallots have sort of turned or reddish brown. Now we're just going to cook out the alcohol of that wine. I don't salt at the beginning because I don't want the mushrooms to leach too many juices at the start. We're going to add our fresh herbs. The fresh herbs are the floral component of any dish. We have a mixture of spinach, arugula, and kale. French fries. Garnish with a little Parmesan cheese. And please enjoy. In my mind, when eating mushrooms, you just can never have too many. You want to look largely for, let's say, something, portobellos are more common. The portobello mushroom, you want it to be closed and curled over. The gills will be tight and light golden. They're not dark and moist. In something like a wood mushroom, like an oyster mushroom or a shiitake, you're again looking for a closed cap or a closed gill. When you press the stalk, it should have some good resistance to it. Or cremini, which is a smaller version of the portobello, you want it to be closed on the inside. The other thing about mushrooms is when you're storing them, cold, please cold, not at room temperature. You buy them into the fridge right away. Brown paper bags absorb the moisture. It allows the mushroom to stay cold and dry at the same time. The good tummy feeling. This is derived from not just the deliciousness that food creates, but also the well-being and how people feel at the time that they're eating and the day after they're eating. The good tummy feeling. What that is just the encompassment of nourishment and deliciousness all tied into one. Mushrooms deliver that in spades. Still figuring out how I can get a mushroom into a dessert.